Okay, thank you, Chiara. So now our next speaker is Tonnie Rijkers. Tell me if I'm saying it right. Yes. Tonnie is has a medical biology background and expertise in molecular, genetic, and health-related process. She's part of the national contact point in the Netherlands as a representative for the Horizon Europe, the cluster health. Is involved in some of the boards that are involved for the preparation of the work programs, and is also an advisor on the project, on the evaluation of project ideas and the fitting to the Horizon Europe health area for researchers. So, Tonnie, thanks for your presence, and please, the floor is yours.
Thank you for this introduction. And yeah, now you've heard everything about the opportunities that are out there and how to read topic texts. I want to dive deeper into how to find the opportunities in the portal. There is one big portal, the funding and tender portal. It's been mentioned already a few times, and that is a difficult one to navigate. So I'll show something about that. And I will also show some other sites where you can find more information on the instruments that have been mentioned. Now, as you've seen already, Horizon Europe is divided into 3 pillars. The excellent science pillar with the ERC and Marie Curie actions, the pillar 2 with the global challenges and the clusters, and pillar 3 on innovative Europe. Can you have the next slide, please? We like to present these opportunities in a different way, and that is this graph, where on the horizontal axis you see the technology readiness levels, as they are called. So low technology readiness levels are actually called basic research or fundamental research. The intermediate levels are for applied research or translational research, and the higher levels are for the demonstration level and the commercial application. And on the y-axis, you see the number of participants, the number of partners that you generally need for a certain instrument. Now, if you look, for instance, at the ERC, that ERC grants you often ask only a loan. And that same goes for the Marie Curie personal fellowships, whereas Marie Curie doctoral networks you apply for in a consortium of 5 or more partners. So that is for pillar 1. For pillar 2, the most used instruments are the research and innovation action and the innovation action. They ask for applied or translational research, or even up to the demonstration level for innovation action. And they are always performed in a consortium of at least 3 partners from 3 different countries. But usually we see consortia of 5 to 25 partners. In that respect is always an institute or a legal entity, not a person. Then in purple, you see the EIC from pillar 3. And there you have both basic research opportunities in the Pathfinder, translational research in the transition instrument, and demonstration level in the accelerator. Now the colors indicate, as Katarina already explained, the bottom-up instruments are the ERC and Marie Curie, where you decide what to work on. And the Commission just looks whether your proposal is excellent enough and groundbreaking enough. And the blue ones are the top-down instruments, where the Commission, together with the Member States, decides what you need to work on. And that is described in the work program. And if you do not adhere to what is described in the work program, your proposal will probably not be granted. And the purple ones from the EIC scheme, they are purple because they have both bottom-up and top-down opportunities. And the top-down opportunities are called challenges in this case. Now, there are also procurements they work in a completely different way. If you see a procurement, so a PPI or a PCP, call your national contact point, because they are not the regular topics. And prizes are actually prizes for work that you have done already. So, and they don't appear very often in the work program, I must say. Can I have the next slide, please? Let me go on to have a look at the instruments in a little bit more detail. So the European Research Council grants, as Katarina explained, they are for excellent researchers who want to do fundamental work, and also for research leaders in a bit more advanced phase of their career. Anyone from up to 2 years after obtaining their PhD is eligible for one of the ERC grants. And you see here a screenshot of the website where you can find a lot of background information on the European Research Council grants. And on the right in the bottom, there's also the link to this website. And we will make the slides available, and then you can just click on the link and you will find the website. Can I have the next slide, please? Where we see the website of the Marie Skłodowska-Curie actions. This is basically for doctoral networks for education, postdoctoral training, and to increase the knowledge and the skills of researchers through mobility across borders, across sectors, and across disciplines. And also here there is a website that is dedicated to this part of the program, where you can find all kind of information about how it works and what to do. And on the next slide, we go on to see the logo of the Horizon Europe Cluster Health. Cluster Health is one of the global challenges in Pillar 2. So it means that you have to work in collaboration with a number of other partners from different countries. And you have to do translational research, or maybe sometimes you can do some development. And the next slide shows the mission on cancer. The mission on cancer is actually falls under the Horizon Europe Pillar 2 Cluster Health. So the rules are basically very much the same as the rules for the cluster health, but the approach is slightly different. And also here there are actually 2 sites where you can find information. One is the Mission on Cancer site, where the European Commission explains all about the mission on cancer. And the other one is the Cancer Mission Implementation site, where you also find a lot of information about the activities that the Commission is undertaking to achieve the goals of the mission on cancer. Now, the next slide you have seen already, so I will not dwell into that too much. It explains the approach for the mission on cancer and the objectives that the Commission has set. But that was explained already. So can I have the next slide, please? That is on the European Innovation Council. Also for this one, there is a special website in which the Pathfinder, Transition, Accelerator, and the STEP scheme are being explained in more detail, where you can also find how to get support and a link to the funding sites. And again, the link to the website is on the right in the bottom. Now, all of these schemes can be found in the Funding and Tender Opportunities portal. This is your gateway to many, many European programs. And in this portal, you can find all the documents that you need, including all the general annexes in which the rules of the game are explained, and the work programs in which all the topics are explained, including the descriptions of the destinations of all the different clusters. The Funding and Tenders portal works with electronic submission. There is no paperwork involved anymore, at least not in Horizon Europe. So everything goes through this portal. So it's good to spend half a day to really explore this portal in detail. And on the next slide, you see a screenshot, or a few screenshots actually, because when you open the Funding and Tenders portal, on the top you will see a number of tabs that you can click. And if you go to the far right, you will see a tab called Guidance and Documents. And if you click on that, you will see that you get a number of guidance manuals. For instance, the reference documents, the online manual, and the IT help desk link, where they explain what to do when something goes wrong with the IT system. And under the reference documents, you see a number of filters, and it's always handy to first choose for the right period and the right program for which you want to find the reference documents. And if you would look for the Horizon Europe reference documents, then you would see, as in the next slide, you will see a list of things like legislation, work programs, and you'll see more in the next part. And when you click on the little on the descriptions, then they will open up and you will see more information. So if you're looking for a work program, for instance, you can click on work programs and call documents. Then you click on the right period for which you're looking for a work program. And then you have to again click on where the green arrow is on the main work program 23-25. And only then a list opens. And there you see all the work programs of the Horizon Europe program for this period. And if you click on one of these numbers, then you will open a PDF with the work program of that part of the program. One important one to have a look at is number 13, all the way in the bottom. That is where the general annexes are. And in the general annexes, a lot of rules of the game are explained. And if you are reading through a topic text, you will also see references to the general annexes. So a topic text will say that that this topic is following General Annex A or is derogating from this General Annex. So it's always good to know that the General Annexes are to be found in the reference documents. Now, on the next slide, you will see more options that open up in this reference documents page. And one that is also very handy is the one that you will find under templates and forms all the way at the bottom. And you can find, for instance, the application forms. You will see here a mock application form that you cannot use to actually apply, but you can see what you are supposed to fill in once you decide to apply for a certain call. The actual application form you always have to download when you have identified a topic from the topic page, because it can differ from the standard application form that you see on the reference documents page. It's clear on so this is how you find the reference documents, so all the basic information. If you're looking for a call for proposals, or you're actually looking for funding, then you go all the way to the left to the second button called funding. And if you open that, you'll see the option call for proposals. And if you click that, you get a number of filters that you can use. Here I selected the filter for the program Horizon Europe, but you will also find here EU for Health, and a whole lot of other programs that you can search for. If you do not select anything, you can, for instance, look for keywords in the quick search. And then if you take the right keywords, you will find a number of topics that mention this keyword in their topic text or in their title. On the next slide, you will see the filters that you can choose. For instance, you can choose the program period, you can choose the program, and you see on the right, you see some examples. Erasmus Plus, for instance, is also in this portal. You can choose or select submission status. So if you're looking for everything that's coming, then you deselect the closed ones. If you're looking backwards or what has been funded before, yeah, then you can choose to click on the closed submission status. And as I said, you can search with keywords in order to find all the different options throughout different programs if you like. On the next slide, if you are wondering whether your idea is very new or has been done before, or you have an idea and you're wondering whether you can build on previously funded work, then you can go to the Cordis database, which is a database from the European Commission in which all the projects that have ever been funded in all the framework programs, so from the first framework program up to the current one, Horizon Europe, all the funded projects are brought together in this Cordis database. So whenever you are looking for information about what the Commission has funded before, you can use this database to search with keywords for your favorite topic, and you can find what has been funded and who has been involved in that. That is usually quite a nice set of information whenever you're developing an idea. In the next slide, please. You will see there's again this scheme, and previously I showed you all the things, the instruments that were part of the core of Horizon Europe. I've now added a few more. For instance, the Eurostars is one instrument that comes from actually a European partnership that is working differently from most of the other partnerships and uses its own methods. And it's an example of how a number of partnerships work. And you also see, Eurostars is bottom up. You also see the EU for Health program and the Digital Europe program, which are usually top down and are more aimed at the demonstration phase. So these are also programs to have a look at, or actually partnerships. On the next slide, you see the example of the Eurostars, where you are supposed to apply not with a large consortium, but with a small consortium of a minimum of 2 partners. As I said, it's a bottom-up scheme, and different from Horizon Europe, this is using national funding with national funding rules. So if you intend to look for Eurostars, then be aware that the rules are different from Horizon Europe. Another example of a partnership is the Innovative Health Initiative, where pre-competitive R&D is done in large collaborative projects, usually also with a very large budget. Be aware that companies are in the lead in this IHI. The companies are in the lead in developing the topic texts, but they are also in the lead in forming the consortia. Rather new in IHI is that there is not only top-down, but also bottom-up opportunities. And if you're interested in it, then you see the website here where you can find more information. In the next slide, there's a bit more information on the EU for Health program, which is actually sort of an implementation program. And it contributes to a lot of things, but one of the things it does contribute to, and which is relevant for you, is the Europe's Beating Cancer Plan. So in the EU for Health program, you will sometimes find calls that are relevant for cancer research. There are basically 2 websites where you can find a lot of information, and the links are in the slides. Then there's one more program I would like to say something about, and that is the Erasmus Plus program, which is on the next slide. This is different from Horizon Europe. The Erasmus Plus program is a dedicated program to support people in their education, in their training, support youth and sports throughout Europe. The running time is the same as the Horizon program. The budget is quite substantial, and it offers opportunities for mobility and cooperation in a lot of educational and training kind of activities. On the next slide, you see that there is a dedicated website also for Erasmus+, and on top of that you can find all the information in the funding and tender portal. But to understand how it works, this is a good website, and once you know that you want to apply, then you can go to the funding and tender portal and find all the details. And the next slide, you can see that there is a lot of explanations. You can also here look for funding for calls. So the website itself already gives an overview of the funding calls. And on the next website, you can see that for support, next slide, thank you. For support, there are national agencies, and they are mentioned also on this Erasmus+ website. So if you go to the national agencies, you can choose your own country and you find out who is your national agency to help you with Erasmus+. So those are sort of the national contact points for Erasmus+. And on the next slide, you see the Horizon Europe national contact points, and Katarina already explained basically what they can do for you. In principle, they all provide support for potential applicants in different ways. Each country must have a national contact point, and you can find them in two ways. There is a link to the funding and tenders portal where you can look for your national contact points, but you will also find one in the national contact points portal, and that I will show on the next slide. And there you can also find the links to the different networks of the thematic national contact points. So each national contact points theme has its own network, and you can find the information on that here. And this slide shows you the national contact point portal. It says national contact point, but it is actually open for everyone, and a lot of the information that you find here is open to anyone. Some parts are restricted to national contact points only, but there's a wealth of information here. A lot of the webinars that have been held are being recorded, and you can find them back here. You can find a lot of trainings that you can follow at your own speed. There's a repository with all types of documents. So this is really a good source of information if you want to know more about Horizon Europe. And that is my last slide, and so I give it back to the organizers. Thank you.